January 10, 1946.
A group of 100 people arrived at Westminster Central Hall in London, England to see a historical moment. First meeting of the United Nations. Comprising 51 nations from 5 continents, this organization was formed for one single purpose. To ensure one thing that is horrific and tragic like World War II not to happen ever again. Today, Eng Breaking will list out 7 battles that forever changed the course of history. This video belongs to our series of English via interesting facts. Want to upgrade your English as well as your knowledge? Stay tuned and click subscribe. The Battle of Marathon. 490 BC is the golden age of the Persian Empire. As King Darius became the next king of kings, he inherited the whole of Asia itself. That was when he turned his eye to Greece. Since he knew a war with Greece will determine the future of the vast European continent. 72,000 Persian soldiers, clocked with only 11,000 Greeks. The result had already been written, but with excellent tactics, the Greeks had made a miracle. Philippides, a messenger, has ran from Marathon to Athens, a total of 42 kilometers to declare the victory, and dropped dead from exhaustion. This story has inspired the idea of modern marathon, one of our most popular sports today. The Battle of Thermopylae. If you watched the movie 300, would you be surprised to know they were based on the true history? 480 BC, King Xerxes of Persia led a 100,000 man's army to invade Greece, and the one sent to encounter them was 300 Spartan warriors. The goal was to hold the Persian and buy enough time for the rest of their Greek allies. Thermopylae, the gate of fire, was where two armies crossed in 3 days, and 300 Spartan warriors, according to history, had fought till the last man collapsed. They had detained the Persians long enough for the Greeks to strengthen their forces. The war eventually resulted with the fallout of Persian army and the victory to the Greeks. History books mention this battle as one of the most famous suicide missions, since these 300 warriors stepped to the battles, knowing they would lose their life. Siege of Orleans. 1429. French city Orleans was about to collapse. For 6 months, it has been under attack by the British army. The citizens were exhausted, and authority has considered surrendering. Then one person showed up and turned the tide. Not a monarch, a general, or sage. That one was an 18-year-old peasant girl named Genevieve, claimed to receive a vision from Jesus. She united the will of people, gave advice to generals, and participated in the battle. 1 month later, the French saw a miracle. They retook Orleans from the British. Not only that, the victory of Orleans once again revives the French will to fight, which is supposed to be drained from the 100 Years' War. It could be said that the siege of Orleans helped the French win the whole war, but the French won in return to the tragedy of Juan. She was captured by the British, condemned of heresy and burned alive on stake. She was only 19 years old then. Until now, the French still name her as the national heroine, and people call her as Saint Joan. The surrender at Yorktown. Autumn 1781, the British army was defeated at Yorktown, after flanked by the French naval fleets on sea and American troops on land. This rather hopeless battle led to the surrender of Britain and the end to the Revolutionary War. The war leader, George Washington, later became the first president of the United States.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And from a colony of runaways and outcasts, America declared as the free land. The same country later rose to become one of the world's most powerful nations. Battle of Waterloo. To this day, some still ponder a question. If Napoleon didn't lose the Battle of Waterloo, would this emperor become the conqueror upon Europe? As news came of Napoleon returning from exile, his opposing country had immediately formed the seventh coalition, including Britain, Holland, had over Brunswick and Nassau to stop this emperor's ambition. Later, General Wellington, despite his victory over Napoleon, still evident. His presence on the field matched the difference of 40,000 men. The bitter defeat at Waterloo had put an end to the glorious military career of Napoleon. It also posed as a prophecy for all the wars that followed, either the most bloody one or at the hand of the most talented leaders. No one can unify Europe. Siege of Stalingrad. Stalingrad, hell on earth. Germany's 6-month siege of the Soviet city was named the bloodiest battle in the human history. 1942, World War II was in climax. Hitler's 3,300,000 troops entered the industrial city of Stalingrad, aiming to use its field as the pedals to invade the rest of Russia. By this time, Germany had swallowed most of Europe with the exception of Britain. If its reach extended to Soviet Union, Hitler would realize his ambitions of the world domination. Until now, based on historical documents, accounts of veterans, history can just paint some vague pieces of this horrific battle.
Animals flee this hell. The hardest stones cannot bear it for long. Only men endure.
The Battle of Stalingrad has changed the fate of Russia, Germany's and the whole world war. 6 months of bombing, death and destructions. Russians have secured Stalingrad, forcing the Germans to withdraw. The landings of Normandy. 6th of June, 1944, D-Day. The largest seaborne invasion in human history, and also the battle that decided the end of World War II. At the end of 1943, a meeting between the three most notorious leaders, US President Roosevelt, British Prime Minister Churchill, and Soviet leader Stalin was held. They decided to put on their forces into a decisive campaign with the Nazis, known as Operation Overlord. 2,800,000 soldiers from 5 allied countries raided the beach of Normandy.
You are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you.
This bloody war had caused catastrophic casualties on both sides, but also brought a major turning point. After 2 horrific months, the Allied army defeated Germany and advanced through the Arctic Trail into Paris. France was liberated. So, are there any famous battles that we haven't included in this list? Which battle facts impress you the most? Leave a comment down below. And hold on, we'll leave a list of vocabulary later. Every week, we will publish new videos in our Learning English through interesting fact series. So if you want to improve your English and knowledge at the same time, please subscribe and follow us.